literally every time I hit record, something's going on outside, which is madness. Um, Someone recently said it sounds like I live in a Walmart parking lot. Sometimes I feel like that. All right, so I was going through my physical media, and there's a bunch of stuff I never got back from the old show that I used to be on, or from I used to keep all my DVDs and VHS and stuff in the projection booth at the Wayne Theater, and then when that shut down, I forgot to grab everything. So here we are. There's been a bunch of chatter recently about, Walmarts and Best Buys are no longer going to be carrying physical media. Fine. I don't really care. I don't really go to either place to get media anymore, so it's not a huge deal. I also don't want to be rooting around in $5 bins in Walmart, whatever you believe about COVID or whatever, there's definitely something in those bins. Uh, I don't believe that physical media will ever actually go anywhere because there are too many boutique, uh, labels out there. Places that I work with, like Culture Shock Releasing, which has put out a couple films that I've written, or Vinegar Syndrome, or today's GarageHouse Pictures. These are two DVDs or Blu-rays that I'm a huge fan of that are apparently going for like a fuck ton of money on eBay now and Amazon. I had no idea. Trailer Trauma and Trailer Trauma 2 Drive-In Monsterama. It was Chillerama, but Chillerama was that movie which was also set at a drive-in. I think Ty West worked on that one. So Garage House Pictures is based out of South Jersey. The dude who started it is a huge 35 millimeter, 16, 8 millimeter film collector. He was the one who supplied film to Exhumed Films here in Philadelphia. They've done shows all over the world since, but that's where I knew them from. They started back at the Harwin Theater. So he has huge collections of film that he's digitized, hard to find stuff, really bizarre stuff. I think they got started with an Andy Milligan movie. I've done Andy Milligan review on this channel before, but when I first heard about this one, I had to pick it up, and it's over 2 hours of exploitation, grindhouse movie trailers. I'm a huge trailer fan. On this review, or on this channel before, I've done a video about Mad Ron's Previews from Hell, which was the first trailer comp that I ever saw as a kid. Shot in Lansdowne, Pennsylvania, not very far from here, with Happy Goldsplat, the zombie puppet, who I had the good fortune to meet those guys who made that movie. And I've been a huge fan in collecting, at horror conventions, getting like the burn trailer comps and stuff like that. I love movie trailers, especially exploitation grindhouse trailers, because it's like they're made on a whole fucking other planet. You'll never see anything like that ever get. Hi, Elvira. All right, bye, Elvira. You'll never see anything like these things ever again. It's younger people don't really understand that there was a time before the internet where, the movie poster, the trailer, and the newspaper ad was really all you had, and film prints were getting bicycled around from different places, and, you only had so many bites of the apple, so you really had to maximize the exploitation aspect that would want to bring someone to a theater. Some of these movies on both of these discs I've never even heard of before. I love the fucking audacity of just straight up using audio from other more popular movies to draw people in, or just changing titles up on movies because they think it's more salacious and it'll bring people in. Obviously, there's some stuff on here that people have seen, like there's a really cool Deathbed, The Bed That Eats trailer, which is not indicative of the film in any way, shape, or form. It feels more like the scene in with Johnny Depp in Nightmare on Elm Street than it does the actual movie, which is this very like Bergman-esque on a budget, wannabe art film. But there's just madness on these discs, and it shows you there's 65 trailers on this first one. The disc is actually in my Blu-ray player right now. Oh no, here it is right here. They're both in the same one. I'm really bad at this. Uh, and then there are 96 on this one. Sweet fuck. I didn't realize there was so many on here. Ending with Zombie, Fulci Zombie, which I've covered on here before. But there's so much fucking wild shit. Every demographic, every genre, subgenre is covered in these things. Steven Romano does the artwork. He did a bunch of stuff for E-Bomb Press, which I think now has teamed up with Vinegar Syndrome. They were doing like the Beyond comic book and stuff like that. They've great stuff that they do. The dudes who put that company together were also the same ones who did like Black Devil Doll. If you ever saw that movie before, it's fucking fantastic. They're from Rotten Cotton. But if you're a fan of exploitation grindhouse trailers like I am, you gotta and you can find these at a reasonable price because, like I said, they're going for stupid fucking money. These are definitely two to check out. The scans are fantastic considering the deterioration level of some of the trailers, and that's the cool thing about it is you can tell just how rare some of this stuff is by the scans that they have of them, of the Vinegar Syndrome that's actually in them. Some of the films have just straight up turned pink and they're washed out and they're scratched, and some of them, you can see the splices, like the one I was saying about that has audio from one of them just flat out has audio from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and tries to sell it off as a Texas Chainsaw movie, and not in like how like in they called Night Killer Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, but after Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 had already come out, not like that. Again, screaming and beeping out there and all kinds of shit. But there's just this great tactile feel to these trailers that you see on screen, and they're they're digitized and all, but like I love that feeling of old film. I used to collect old trailers. I still have a big box of them, but nothing as cool as this stuff, obviously. I've got some weird ones though. I've got a couple really bizarre rarities that I just held on to because I was like, this is so weird. I can't play it. I don't have a 35mm projector anymore to play with. But I used to do trailer compilations where I would put together hours and hours of trailers at some of my old theaters and just run them for the staff. We would do 2 hours worth of trailers, and I would call it Trailer Trash. Then we did an event in Tilton, New Jersey, down by Atlantic City, the first Trailer Trash. Then we did another one at the Wayne. There was Trailer Trash 2, Electric Boogaloo. But there's just something about see how, even a movie because I didn't have like super old, obscure stuff like these, seeing something how it was marketed. People seeing, like, even younger people seeing, like, the Super Mario Brothers trailer, the 93 one, or, the trailer to something like a 70s blaxploitation movie, or seeing nudity in trailers, or certain words in trailers and stuff like that. People weren't really prepared for them because we're so used to, nowadays, green band trailer, even though some theaters have brought back the red band trailer. Green band means all ages, red band means it's R-rated. You can only program it with adult-friendly films. There's just a lost art to cutting a trailer that would be so ridiculous or salacious that it just makes you go like, well, yeah, of course I have to check this out. If I'm on some sleazy fucking 42nd Street movie theater, it's wild to think like these movies got distribution, especially in a time before VHS, because I could see like in the VHS days when more stuff for that market flooded the market. I'm really bad at talking because you would need more and more product. But as like the drive-ins started to die off and the grindhouse theaters were what they were, yes, they needed product that they could just grind over and over again. But it's wild to think that some of the movies on here even got like a 35mm print struck, and I'll be watching some of these and be like, where's this? Like, and look it up and go, oh fuck yeah, this is something that existed, but it's just that crazy vibe of what I love about exploitation, grindhouse, B movies, Z movies. That like, imagine being at the rap parties to some of these things, because I know how fucking hard it is to make a movie in the first place and to get people to follow along. But like, I got to imagine that half the women in these movies at that time were like, "Oh fuck, it's not porn, thank God," Or some going, "Fuck, I'd probably get paid a lot more if it was porn. Can someone take me beyond the green door, please?" But no, it's crazy. And GarageHouse Pictures, like these, they have a couple more of these as well. They also have like a TV one that's all like TV ads and stuff like that. It's a little too expensive right now, but it's definitely one that I'd like to get my hands on at some point. Because I have other compilations over here, but these are definitely the most bizarre and the most obscure of all the ones that I have. So I just kind of wanted to share these real quick and just kind of get into a little bit of what I love about fucking grindhouse movie trailers and the work that GarageHouse Pictures have done. If you've never checked out their work before, I would go to their website and check them out. Let them know that Schlockenhoff Films sent you. But yeah, I love film, and I miss it so fucking much. I'm all right here by my TV. I've got my old splicer and stuff like that. But it was something I did for so long, and getting to kind of like get my hands on old movie trailers via people who left them behind at my old theaters, or ones that I bought through through auctions and whatnot. I used to have just reels and reels of really cool old movie trailers. Now I have empty reels all up here, but there was just something really cool about getting to handle. It's the same thing with posters. There's something cool about getting to handle some. Bye, Elvira. It's something really cool about getting to handle something that had a whole life before it got to you. Be it a film print or a poster, it played somewhere else. It hung somewhere else. It was part of the initial run of that film, as some sleazy producer was trying to make a buck back for this harebrained fucking concept of something that is on here right now. Like actually, some of these Dorian Gray, Willard, people like that. Kathy's Curse, a great fucking weirdo Canadian movie that I think Red Letter Media did a thing on. The Devil's Nightmare. The Devil's Wedding Night has a great tagline. Satan is coming on the Devil's Wedding Night. I love that. Brides of Blood, Brain of Blood. Those are the Blood Island cult movies. Brian Usna did a comic book of that my buddy Steven Sestelli and my buddy Dexter Weeks both worked on. I have it's hanging with magnets on my fridge. But it's pretty cool to see that. House of Seven Corpses seems kind of lazy. I think Rob Zombie beat you there. Burt Offerings has a huge known cast. It's got like Karen Black in it. Let's see what else we got here. House of Psychotic Women. I have the poster for that one. Let's see. The Road Reincarnation of Peter Proud. That's actually one that is pretty respectful. Same thing with Dorian Gray. What else we got? What do we got on this one that pops out at me? Trick or Treat. Oh, it's Steve Railsback. That's an interesting one. Let's see. The Children, the 1980 movie. I think Troma has the rights to that now. A bus full of kids goes through like a toxic gas leak, and they're all like zombies, but you can only tell because their fingernails are black. That's a terrible movie. Food of the Gods 2. Where it has, if you look up the Food of the Gods 2, it's got a great fucking scene in it where a little kid is giant and he's like, "Why don't you get the fuck out of my room?" Let's see, what else we got? Smokey and the Good Time Outlaws, and then Smokey and the Hot Wire Gang. It was the rip-offs of the Smokey and the Bandits movies back in the day. There was an era of Warren Oates in things when the CB radio culture and car culture and that Southern fried car culture was way bigger, and there was a lot of Smokey and the Bandit style rip-offs that came out around that time. Why are you running around? What do you possibly have to gain? Exactly. Wacko, I think I talked about that recently. Oh, I talked about that when I did the review of Caddy Hack, because it's one of those. Wacko was one of those like George Kennedy is in it, and Andrew Dice Clay is in it, and it was one of those like spoof movies of slasher movies at the time. Let's see, what do we got here? Now I'm just reading things off. Annihilators. Oh, Jack the Ripper with Klaus Kinski as Jack the Ripper. He's creepy to start with. One-Armed Executioner. One-Armed Executioner is no Crippled Masters, where the dude has he has no arms. He's got like little flipper arms, and the other dude has nothing below the torso. Nothing below like the pelvis. And it's a kung fu movie that was released in 1983 when they should have known better. But the tagline for that movie, because I have the poster, is they're handicapped by their limited knowledge of kung fu. Let's see what else we got here. Iron Master, which is, I think that one is in French on this release. Coonskin, which was one of the like Fritz the Cat era, Ralph Batsky-esque adult movies, animated movies. Let's see. Penitentiary 2 with young, I think it was one of the first movies with Ernie Hudson. Ernie Hudson's first from Ghostbusters, Winston. Obviously, one of his very first ever movie was The Human Tornado, which is the sequel to Dolomite. And when I was working with Rudy Ray Moore back in 2004, I think, he was going to play the director of Homeland Security in Die Laughing, which was then called Chlorophobia. And I had a whole bunch of Rudy Ray Moore stuff, and he was able to get Ernie Hudson to sign my Human Tornado lobby card, and I have it framed in storage, actually. It's in the bathroom in one of those totes. No Retreat, No Surrender, that's a pretty well-known one with Eric Roberts in it. I don't know, all good stuff. Now I'm just naming things, but it's cool to see these. And let me know what your favorite weirdo trailer is. There's definitely some ones that I love. There's some that aren't on these discs that I want to talk about. Like if you've ever seen the trailer for Caged Virgins is a fucking weird one, or Lucky 7. Lucky 7's a fucking wild trailer. It's a Korean little kid kung fu movie, and it's fucking wild because the trailer just has children being like hurt. Or Thunder Cops. Look up the trailer for Thunder Cops. It's fucking wild, man. I'd love one day to do another trailer night for people, but it is what it is. But yeah, if you get a chance, check these out. Check them out. Let them know. Hit up GarageHouse Pictures. Let them know we sent you. Yeah, man. I could talk about trailers for fucking ever. I love movie trailers. I love just the whole ballyhoo of the entire thing. Is just so wild to see the evolution of how films were marketed to people. And into where we are now, because nowadays we don't need it anymore. We've got, you got the internet and you've got people doing all the work for you. But back then, you had sometimes 2 to 4 minutes to make people give you their dollar, whatever it was back then, for 42nd Street or whatever your local grindhouse theater was. I genuinely wish I got a chance to see this stuff in person in the theaters, but I grew up in the VHS era, and I never had that chance. But I've been making fake trailers with Midnight Show for years now, and just trying to keep that spirit alive. And if you ever saw, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, but you've seen Grindhouse, there's the fake trailers in the middle of it, and it's something like that you would see. I don't know. I got nothing right now. I just wanted to. I was going through my Blu-rays and stuff, and I saw these pop up, so I put them on, and I was like, "Fuck it." This cat, man. All right, guys, that's it for this week. I just wanted to come on and talk about movie trailers real quick. Hold on, let me grab. Hold on, right here. This is my film splicer. This is the same one I had since 1999. Still in pretty good shape. Still has splice tape here. Used to put the film across here, cut the piece off that you needed, put it back on here, put the tape on, seal it, and then you were good to go. And then we would mark them with this yellow tape, so when you would break it back down, you'd be able to see where the splice was in order to, to break it and wheel it back up. But I've had this Neo taper since 1999. It was given to me by the guy who trained me in projection, so I've had this one forever. And then somebody gave me this one as well. This is an old 8mm splicer. Same kind of concept, except it has glue instead of tape. So if you ever saw like Inglourious Bastards, when she's up in the Shoshana's up in the projection booth using the glue, that's this stuff here. I collect all this junk from over the years because I needed it all for running second and third hand movie theaters that were super independent. We didn't get stuff from the studios like the theaters did when I worked at Regal and AMC and all. So I keep this one in good shape just because even its blade still works, because when we were shooting Midnight Show 2 years ago, I don't even know if those scenes are ever going to make it in the movie, but I had to be the stand-in's hands for the redheaded actress. So I had the gloves on, and then I was doing all the splicing that she's supposed to be doing, just to make sure that it was all right on film and stuff. So it was in that movie. So I don't know if those scenes will ever be seen, but at one point this was a movie star. But this is one of my prized possessions because this went with me to all my theaters all over Arizona and New Jersey and Pennsylvania, Connecticut when I was there. This shit doesn't exist anymore because it's all digital, but this thing cut a lot of trailers back in the day, and a lot of those fun trailer nights and film events that we did back in the day, where I would show my staff weird nonsense that either I had or that our projection guy, Joe, he was this old man. He used to bring all kinds of weird shit as well. So those were some of the fun fucking film nights, and I want to one day do something more about projection and all that. But it's a dead art. It doesn't exist anymore. There's very, very few theaters that still do 35mm film. Some did 70mm when Oppenheimer was out, which was kind of cool, but it's a dead art. But we can keep the spirit alive by watching trailer compilations. So Trailer Trauma and Trailer Trauma 2, and Newt's love for sleazy, cheesy, grimy, no budget exploitation trash. Screaming girls and monsters and all kinds of crap that you would see on a double bill of grindhouse movie theater. My brain is rotted from it, from years and years of just seeing everything that I could and reading Fangoria and Psychotronic and cult flicks and cult flicks and trash picks. I used to just pore over these books because it would have little write-up about every movie, and like, this is all pre-internet days shit, man. Like, I was waiting for the internet to happen when I was in middle school and elementary school, because I was like obsessed with learning everything that I could about film, but mostly trash film. And look at me now. Look how successful I am. But that's it. I just wanted to hop on tonight and talk a little bit about where all this stuff came from. And it's weird. You trace it all back. It starts out as film, but I find it on video. And then now that everything's, beautiful, digitized Blu-ray, I had a chance to go back and see some of this stuff on film. But as it gets harder and harder to find, I am glad that it not everything was lost to time, because there's a lot of shit that was just lost forever. which sucks. You know, they say about movies that didn't come over from VHS are just lost forever. Same thing with a lot of silent films. When things turn to vinegar or even nitrate stuff, it's just lost forever. So there's so much film that'll just never be seen, never be found. And that's sad to know that there are things out there. Like, you're not going to see everything. Nobody's going to ever see everything. But it would be nice to know that, like me, you could stumble upon something that you didn't know existed, and it to have some sort of meaning or be so fucking weird that you go to other people like, you have to see this to fucking believe it. It's crazy. It's like people who find this channel and they're like, yo, you want to see the saddest fucking thing ever? Watch this. That's it. I showed you my splicer. Why aren't you responding? That's it. Trailer trauma. Thanks for joining me.